Hey guys, welcome to DevOpsSchool. In this video tutorial, we are going to teach you about Jenkins, which is a very popular continuous integration tool. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Jenkins will be absolutely clear to you. But before that, let me ask you a few things. Are you dreaming of a career with higher pay and more responsibilities? Or are you ready to take your skills to the next level this year? Then start investing in DevOpsSchool certification level courses which will help you to emerge skills for a wide range of entry-level roles and as well as higher potential future positions. But with thousands of courses online and in classroom worldwide, finding the right one for your career goals can be difficult. You can consider our courses like Agile Developer, Agile QA, DevOps Certified Professionals, Site Reliability Engineering, DevSecOps, and Masters in DevOps Engineering, where you will have access to well-structured, easy-to-follow course content that has been developed and will be delivered by industry professionals. You can join on our training programs globally through online platforms, and if you are looking for classroom workshops, then we have regular sessions available in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Delhi NCR, Mumbai, and in Pune. Simply compare our many courses, find the one that suits your style and schedule best, and start today.
Rajesh. Rajesh, can you hear me?
Please ask me question.
Yeah, how can we migrate the jobs from one Jenkins instance to another Jenkins instance?
Yes, I'll give you this answer. Just hold on for a few seconds. Just keep this.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So now we install the Jenkins Jira plugins. What you have to do? Manage Jenkins, configure it. So configure system, and you have to tell where is your Jira server. You install the plugins. That means plugin has a commands only, Jira commands. But you have to tell where is your Jira server. So you have to set this one here. Add Jira server, URL, link URL, user ID, password, all these things you have to set it up and then validate setting. Okay. Once you are done with these settings, okay, once this is a one-time setup, after that you can come here, go to the any job, build job, and configure. And in the post build actions, what you have to do? You have to go to the add build post action, and you can see this Jira update relevant issues. You can create issues. You can create a new version. You can make a new version as released. You can do a lot of things, So all these things you can do that. So this is the way you can also try many things. Okay, so far we did all this. This was try to help you to visualize how the Jenkins will talk to the different tool with the plugins, and you can put it everything together. So you can see that from the front end, Jenkins is doing everything, but from the back end, Jenkins is calling each and every tool. Okay, so this is how then you can set it up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly talk about other option of the Jenkins job configuration. So just I click on the here and configuration, and in this software code management, you know that you have a none, Git, you have subversion. If you don't have your tools like TFS, Coforce, or any other tools, what do you have to do? Install the plugins. Simple. Now in the build triggers, some of the options like we want to trigger this build through the scripts, or you want to build periodically. That means you want to set the cron here. If you're not sure about any of those options, go to the last question mark button and just click on it. You'll get the nice tutorial for each and every option, and you will get it. Okay, so if you put this code here, this will be trigger every 15 minutes like this. So you can set this job trigger automatically, scheduled, you can do the schedule and all this thing. You can also use this option, GitHub to hook triggers for the SN. So this is setting up the hooks and stuff like that. You can also do the polling SN. That means you can set the triggers. That means Jenkins will check the github.com. If there is a new source code, it will automatically build it. If there is no new source code, Jenkins will leave it as it is. Now, if you talk about the build environment section, here you see that you want to delete the workspace before every build start. You want to abort the build if something is idle for the 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or something like that. You want to add a timestamp to the logs, console output, or something like that. So these are the options you can set it up in the environment. In the build section, you can see that many options which you have it. You can see here You can call shell, you can call ant, you can call Gradle, you can use batch script, you can use Linux script, you can use anything actually, you can do that. In the post build actions also, you can send an email. Here you have a send an email notification. You can send an email to recipients. If you want the advanced email notification system, editable email notifications, you can try, and here you can define the to list, message type, subject, this, that, and those sort of things. And you want to attach the logs, you want to do a lot of things, you can try it out. So each and every option you have to try one by one and see that and experience that the job configuration. If you are not finding your option, that means you have not installed the right plugins. You go find out the plugins on the plugins repository of the Jenkins, install the plugins, and you get the options. Okay, any questions so far? Now, I'll tell you, if you come to
Rajesh, one question.
yeah.
Hello. Hello, Rajesh. Yeah. For deploying to QA, so where do we mention the QA deploy server in Jenkins?
Okay, so how do you deploy to the QA server? How do you, which way you are using?
So I just want to deploy to QA server. So
Yeah.
how do I proceed? Like.
So you have to tell me. If you want to deploy to the QA server, let's say you have one package, one WAR file, and you want to deploy to hundreds of machines. What do you do?
Okay, I can use Chef.
Yes. You can use Chef, you can use Puppet, you can use shell scripting also, but you have lots of written script has to be written. So basically, you have a chef command which you will be calling through knife, and then ultimately you will create one job, and that is what I did in the deploy to QA. I did configuration and the build tab. Okay, I'm just calling the knife command here. So knife command will send that command to the Chef server, and Chef server will take Chef server has a cookbooks which was written by you, and cookbooks will take care of everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay.
Okay, now what I am going to do, I am going to try it out some of the management sections. So now here is like this. Manage Jenkins. Let's talk about each of these options in short. Okay, so here if you see that in the Manage Jenkins, you will see the configuration system. That means this option, you can set the configure global setting and path. So if you click here, you can set this like manage Maven related things, where you can set the ops and all kind of things, repository, you can set it up. You can set the number of executor. That means this number of executor is like this 2. Why? So here if you set 4, that means 4 parallel build will happen. 4 parallel build will happen. How come? So here it was having 2. So in the build executor also only 2 parallel build was allowed. Here you can set the 4 and then apply. So now number of executor is gone to the 2 to 4. So let's refresh. Now you have a 4. That means 4 parallel job can be happen with the server. Okay. So that is can be used. Okay. Now configure system. Here you can see the labels, uses, quiet period, asymptotic, checkout. So this is the self-explanatory. If you read once, you will get it. Okay. Here you can see the environment variable which can be accessed by the Jenkins. You can set the 2 locations also. You can set it up here. Okay. All these 2 locations you can set it up. Here you can set the phonarchy server which you did it. Here you can set the timestamp format. Here you can set the GitHub account information, you have to set it up once and forget every time. Enterprise servers, you can set it up here. You can set the Jira related things here. You can set the Git plugins related things, server related things here, cell executables here, SMTP servers, you can set it up here. And here you can set the default email notification which can be used for sending an email out, and here again you can set up the emails notification. So all these things, if you go one by one, you can check it out, depends on your requirement, you can set it up and then enjoy the things. Okay, now if you go to the manage Jenkins here, global security. So in the global security, if you look at this, here you have two kind of security. One is security realm, which you want to try, and authorization. Okay, in this security realm, whether you want to use to delegate to servlet container, in that case servlet container, that means if you want your Jenkins login to be enabled with the Twitter account or Gmail account or Facebook account or something like that, you can use the delegate to servlet container. That's not the real case scenario for our projects. Most of the time we will be using Jenkins own user database, which is the second option, or LDAP. Okay, so if you are using Jenkins own user database, good. If you're using LDAP, you have to talk to your IT team and then get this information and then verify it. Okay, so this is how. Now, once you set the security realm, then you have to set the authorization. That means what can you do and who's having what access. So basically here he says anyone can do anything. That means you will understand what is the meaning of it. That means everyone will be allowed to do anything. Okay, here it says only logged in user can do anything. That means you know that only the logged in user can do everything. But you don't want everyone to have every access, even you don't want the logged in user to have every access. In that case, you have to use the matrix based project. So it's like this. Here you can set the permission for the each and individual user who is supposed to have an overall access, credentials, agent related access, job related like a build, cancel, configure, create, delete, discover, move, read, all these things you can set it up the checkbox and then run view and SCM. So basically all these options, here you can add the user, here you can add the group. One important thing which you have to mindful about it, here the moment you enable this option and you did not add any user, so even the admin which was having the administrator access, you will lose the things. So you have to add it. The moment you are enabling this matrix based security, you have to add yourself. My username is admin, and the moment you add it, you have to give administrator access. Then only you will get the access. Otherwise, you will lose the access. So now save it, and now I have the access ADMIN 123. Okay. Now if you want another user to enable the registration, so what you have to do here, allow users to sign up. So just click on it here, save it, and log out. And now I'll create Rajesh. Let's create a new account here, create an account. So username is Rajesh, Rajesh123, Rajesh123, Rajesh@rajesh.com. Sign up. I just sign up and now logged in, and you see that you don't have any access. Access denied. Why? Because your access is not added to the matrix based security. So what you have to do, admin will have to log in, which I have got my access, manage Jenkins, global security, and here you have to add Rajesh here, and here you have to assign that whatever the access this guy needed. So you have to click on the check boxes and things like that, like this. So whatever the access you assign, this guy will get the same access, and then everything will be taken care. So now this is the way you play with it. Most of the options. Now you can try some of the options and then play with it. Okay, now one thing I wanted to tell you which I have forgotten. So if you want to know the step-by-step information for the many of these things, so what I have done, come to the DevOpsSchool.com, tutorials, Jenkins, click on the Jenkins here, and here you have all these things, step-by-step information about all the scenarios. Here you have exercises, you have a PDF, all these things you have it. Some topics, if you are not able to find it, send me an email, I'll upload this new topics in the next morning or something like that. Okay, so it's like this. So whenever you're stuck or if you want to do something, don't get tense. Just ask me, I'll give you the information, step by step information. So this is the way we can set up the manage Jenkins. Now we talked about the configuration system, we talked about the global security, we talked also use the global tool configuration which you can set, where you can set the JDK, Git or all sort of the tools which you can set it up. Okay, now let me talk about some of the systems manage Jenkins. Here manage plugins, we talked about it, and logs, you will get all the logs, load statics, you will get the statistics about the system server. Jenkins CLI, you can use the command line interface. It's self-explanatory, all the tutorials you will find here actually again. Okay, and manage nodes, I need to show you now, and manage users. So how many users we have? It as of now we have 2 users. We can edit, delete, modify, whatever you want to do and stuff like that. So like this. Okay, so now the one important topics which I want to cover, in fact 2 or 3, let's say, like Jenkins distributed concept. Distributed concept. And second question which I want to address in the Jenkins distributed concept, I talk about Jenkins nodes management. Okay, and now another things which I want to talk about, Jenkins backup and restore. And some of the useful plugins I want to tell you now. Okay, so if you want to know my useful plugins, which are the plugins which I am a fan of it, so if you want to know about this, just click on this useful Jenkins plugins. So here these are the plugins which is my favorite. As I said, there are more than 1000 plugins. So you have a requirement, there's a plugin for that. You need to find out. But these are the my plugins which I think basically very popular and very stable and very useful also. So you can try it out these plugins also. One of the plugins which I can tell you right away is like this, which is very helpful for you. So you have a Jenkins and you modify this job configuration by mistake. And you understood, you did this, some of the configuration wrong, and you don't know what exactly, because sometimes your job configuration will be very complicated, very large, so many entries will be there. So how can you make sure that whatever you did the modification, you should keep track of it, right? So how can you do that? So there is no as such things default available. So what you have to do, you have to enable and install the Jenkins plugin. So this one plugin which is called config history plugins. Okay, so I'll go to the manage Jenkins, I'll go to the manage plugins, and here go to the available, and the plugin name is config history, if I'm correctly, job history, job, no, let me get the real name, it should be here. This is the plugin, job configuration history plugin. So let me search the Google, this is the plugin name. Okay, so I'll go and install. Here it is, job configuration history plugins. I just install it, and this plugin will help you to manage and create the job configuration and their histories. So let me show you. I just installed this plugin, and now you go to this build, and suppose I modified. The moment you install this plugin, you got this job config history here option, configuration, and now suppose you modify, compile to 1.1, which is a not right goal, it's a wrong goal, but just to modify, and the moment you did the build, it get failed. Now what's the problem? Because if you have not this plugin installed, probably you will have to go by each line of the code, and sometimes if it's modification done by someone else, then it's very difficult to keep track of it, and you don't know sometimes what is wrong, what is right, and many times you spend time looking into it, right? So you have to spend time, and that's the important thing in the DevOps. So you don't have to worry about after installing this plugin. Just click on this and see that what is the difference between the last and this. Just you see that this is the change which has been done, and you can find out what is the change has been done. And after this, there's no, okay, I have to do one more changes, because after installation I just only do one changes. Build now. One more time it will fail. And click on the configuration. Now you have two changes. Now you can see the big difference between the two changes, and now you can tell, okay, this is a change. You had this one, you modified this one, and this is causing issues. You can also tell, you can also find who has modified, what time it got modified. So all this is wonderful features. So that way you can keep track of the configuration of the Jenkins job, and this is helpful. So there's a lot of plugins also which can help you. So you can go through this and you can find out which one is needed by you and which you can use it, and then try it out and things like that. So usual plugins you have to try using these pages. Okay, now how can you take a backup and restore? So these are so many ways in which you can take a backup and restore. Basically, whenever you take a backup, let me show you here. I just go to the var lib Jenkins. This is the place where you have a Jenkins installed. So let me tell you, whenever you want to take a backup, every file which is ending with .xml is supposed to be taken backup. Okay, the simple one. Anything, any places you can restore it. So all the jobs will be inside. Here it is. So now you will see that jobs you have it, right? These many jobs you have it here. See, these many jobs. So now you have taken these jobs, and each jobs will be having config.xml. So basically whatever you do, whatever, here it is. Okay, so whatever you configure in the each jobs is rewritten in the config.xml. So basically if you have this job, you can recreate this job any point of the time. So what you have to do, you have to take a backup. There's so many ways in which you can take a backup. In Google also you will find hundreds of scripts which will do the backups. One of the easiest way to do the backup is I'm using one plugin which is called Thin Backup. Okay, again I said there's a lot of ways in which you can take a backup. Again, I have written one dedicated article for that. This is the page. Okay, just click on it and you'll get the more information. But I'm showing you one of the simplest ways to take a backup, which is easy to do that, and is called through plugins. So you go to the manage plugins, go to the available section, and there is one plugin name which is called Thin Backup. Okay. So you have to find your plugins actually. There's so many plugins. You have to find your right plugin which you like it. Okay. So I like it this one, Thin Backup. I just install it. And I get installed. Now I configure it using manage plugins, and here this option is called Thin Backup. So you just configure it only once. So it's asking where you want to take a backup. So let's do this backup in the OPT directory. Okay, so OPT directory Jenkins BKP. So this is the place I want to store the backup. So Jenkins BKP. So this is the directory. So now I just set it up. Here you can see who's the backup. Here you can set the backup number of backup. What are the things you want to back it up? So let's select all these things you want to take a backup. Okay, and done, and save it. Okay, so once your setting is done, it's a one-time activity. It says the directory exists but not writable. That means, let me tell you, all the Jenkins services you are running through the Jenkins user. See that Jenkins is running your services. But if you look at this, it's owned by the root. So there's a permission issues actually. So remember, anything which is owned by root, Jenkins is a user, root is the boss, so Jenkins will not be able to access this file. So what you have to do, you have to give either chmod 777 or either you change the permission, chown-r Jenkins/Jenkins, and this is a directory. Sorry. chown-r Jenkins user Jenkins group, and what is the directory name? Directory name is this one. And now ls-lrt, this is the permission you changed from the root to Jenkins. Now just save it and open up one more time. You see now this is writable. So now remember this directory which has sorry. You have nothing, see, and now you're going to take a backup. So click on the backup now. You can schedule also, and now you have created a backup. So it can create a backup. Then the more you click here, and then the more changes you have it, you can schedule it, whatever you want to do, you can do that. It's very easy to take a backup. Now inside that, remember I just said everything is in XML Jenkins store. So all the XML has been taken the backup. Here you have a jobs XML, here you have a Jenkins XML, here you have a plugin XML, here you use user XML, all this stuff. So everything you have XML. Now what do? You just delete some of the jobs. So let's go and delete this job. I just delete them. Accidentally I'm deleting, considering, and what has happened? So now it's a problem because my system is not working. So what I'm going to do, by mistake it has happened. So what I should do, go to the Manage Jenkins, click on the theme backup, and click on the restore, and now you will be selected because I have only one backup, so it has only one. But if you have 15, 30, 20, 30, so whatever it will be shown. Click on this and select whichever you wanted. Let's leave it as of now. Okay, and restore. And Jenkins. Now still you don't have those jobs which I deleted. Never worry, it got created basically, but you don't have right now. Why? Because you have to do the reload. So either you start the services or either you do the reload. There's one option which is called reload somewhere here. Reload configuration from the disk. Just click on it. You can restart the services also. That will work. And now you have a Jenkins job. Okay, so now you can see that all these things is been restored. So this is the way you can take a backup and you can do the restore also. Any questions so far?
So how can we migrate to another instance, Rajesh?
Well, you do one thing, you install the new Jenkins server, simple. You copy this whole directory over there, this directory, and install the theme backup, and you set it up this directory and all the this one, theme backup, wherever you have a directory backup, set it up this one, and just go and restore it. Automatically it will read that file from there. Make sense?
Can you come again? I didn't understand. I got confused.
Okay, so it's like this. You want to transfer from the one server to another server, right?
Yeah.
So you have this backup directory, you know, right?
Okay.
Yeah, copy this directory to the different machine server and install the theme backup. Okay, and in that theme backup settings, you do the directory where you have copied the backup files. The moment you set the backup file, automatically those options will come here, restore, and you select the whatever the restore you want to do.
Oh, okay. First we need to copy. That's the first basic thing we need to do, right?
Yeah.
To another server. Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions?
How to restore only a single job instead of taking a complete restoration process?
Single jobs. So what you can do, you go to the Manage Jenkins, theme backup, and restore. And here, if you want to take a single job, then you need to know where is the single job. So I'll tell you the steps now manually. So this is the folder where you have taken the backup. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll go to a var. I'll go to the option which is called what is that? Lib and Jenkins is the place, and inside the jobs. Okay, and now I am deleting AAP. Okay, I am manually deleting it. And now I go to the Jenkins. Do you have AAT? Yes. But the moment you reload this configuration from disk, that is gone. AAT should not be there because I deleted manually. AAT is not there. Now you said how can you restore it? So now you have to go to the OPT, Jenkins backup, and inside that you have a full whatever it is. Inside that you have a job.
Please enroll for our channel membership $3.99 plan to get access of all the parts.
And do you have AAT? Yes, you have it. cp-rf AAT to var lib Jenkins jobs copied. Now, do you see that? No. So what do you have to do? You have to go manage Jenkins, reload configuration from the disk. You got it. Is that answer your question?
Yeah. So from the backup location, we need to copy the particular job and paste it in the actual location, right?
Right, yeah. Everything in the XML file. Actually, Jenkins stored everything in XML. Everything. Any other question?
Rajesh, I want to do weekly backup or daily backup of these jobs. So how can I do it? So can I schedule it
Just go to Fin Backup.
automatically to be done?
Here you can schedule backup for the full backup. So you set this. Let's say you want to do execute every day 12 every weekday. Set the quanta. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, now this is the last topic. Okay, last topic is Jenkins distributed concept. So here, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to add a node. So now here I have a Jenkins server in the Linux RHCL. Now it's like this. So scenario of the adding the nodes is like this. Let's say you have 10 jobs. Each of job required 4 hours to build. Okay, so in that way you require 40 hours to build all the jobs. But your project management says no, you have to build all these 10 jobs on which take 4 hours. You have to build in 10 hours. So what do you want to do? So you want to increase the 3 more system. Okay, you are going to add 3 more system, and which is basically nodes where you can send the jobs to be done, and then once the job is done, send the information on the server. So this is called distributed concept of the Jenkins. That means you are outsourcing the processing and compilation or anything whatever you want to do to the different machine. So how can you do that? That can be done through the nodes concept. So how can you add a nodes? You have to go to manage Jenkins, click on the manage nodes, and to add a nodes, you need a very basic information. One is like your name, host IP address, second thing user UID, and third thing user password or keys. And fourth thing, you need a directory where workspace can be created. Simple. Workspace can be created. Okay. So if you click on the here is the master itself is the one acting as line node, but you click in a node, new node, name it node 1, click on the permanent node, click OK. Now you have to give the remote directory, which is like this one. Okay. So where you want to set up a node, here you have to get that what is the launch matter. So which one? Right? So if it is a Linux, you have to select the SSH, and then you have to give the host IP address, user ID and password. You can set it up here, and then you can save, and then it's get added. Okay. Now let's put it 10.0.0.5. This is not a valid machine, but I'm just setting up just for showing you. And done. So now you can see that node is set up, but it's not connected. Why? Because I gave.
Rajesh, your voice is not clear. It's breaking.
Okay, it's okay now. It's okay now. Guys, can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Suddenly my internet has become slow. Guys, can you hear me now? Hello? Guys, can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. So suddenly internet got some issues and something like that. Okay, so now in order to add a node, you have to add a host IP address, ID, password, or keys, and directory space. So that's what we have to do. So now if you saw this space, I added a node, but which was not right IP address. So what I'm going to do, there's many ways you can add it. Okay, so it's like this. Let's understand this. Here it is a server. Jenkins server. Okay, now this will get added, so the jobs will be sent to this server or this server, which you call it node 1, node 2. But sometimes what happens, in fact node can connect to the server, so it should be both the way. Either Jenkins can send this node information to the nodes and connect to send the information, or nodes also always seek the connection from the Jenkins server. That is both the way it can happen. So now what I'm trying to do here, this way I'm not trying to show you, but I'm trying to show you here my Windows machine which can talk to my Jenkins server. Okay, in this case what I have to do, I have to do the prerequisite setup. So it's like this: manage Jenkins, and this all these configurations details you have it already mentioned in the DevOpsSchool.com. Okay, so I'll show you this one. So I go to the configuration system, not here, go to the security setup. I need to enable one option which is called this one, TCP port for GNMP. I'll put it random, save it. The moment I enable this one, in the manage node section, I will get Windows permanent node, and here one options will get launch via web start. So I'll have to create one directory structure in Windows, so that is Jenkins. My machine has a Windows already installed, so I create a remote directory structure djenkins, and this is, I'm just putting let it be and save it. And the moment I click, I need to run this on the command line. So cd d Jenkins, okay, D drive Jenkins, and here I need to copy this jar file, save link as D Jenkins, that's all. So I'll need to go this path and run this command line. So jar file Java is installed in my machine, and enter. So now my Windows machine, which is trying to talk to the server and is trying to connect with the server, which got happened, you saw that. Here it is, trying the protocol, which is this one. Still is trying to connect and is connected. Now let me refresh this. You see this Windows machine should be manage Jenkins. Refresh is not happening properly. It's already connected. This sign should go, but refresh status. Yeah, now you see the sign has gone. I just refreshed. Now the moment you added this Windows nodes, what you can do, you can build this job rather than the master server. You can do the build. So the moment you added the node, you got this option, restrict where this project can run. So I just click on this and select the Windows. Okay, so now save. So before that running, let me show you another job, which is, let's say this job. Okay, this is running where? In the same machine. So not this one, let me show you some different job. SonarQube. Okay, this is running where? It's the same machine. You can see this var loop Jenkins da. Right now I will run this job, build now, and now you see that it's running where? In Windows, remotely on Windows in this location. Okay, that location is the Jenkins workspace A build here. So now it's in progress. It's trying to check out the source code or whatever it is. So this is the way you can add a node. Now it's a cloning. You see that Git is installed in my Windows machines also. So that's the reason it did not throw an error. Maven is also set it up. So everything is set it up in Windows. So this is the way now you are outsourcing the job on the different machines. So you can add Linux, you can add Windows, you can add Mac, anything you can add it, and just you need this 3-4 information: host IP address, ID, password, and all stuff like that. So I do not require IP address and password in this case, in Windows case. Why? Because from Windows I was hitting to the Jenkins server. So in this case you don't require anything but the working directory. But if your Jenkins is trying to hit to the window or the machine, then you got the user ID, host, and then password and all stuff like that. Okay, is that understood? Any questions so far?
So Rajesh, when I create a job for this automated build job, and do I need to build the rest of the jobs also in the same node, or can I do it in different node? Because I need to deploy to the Nexus repo also, right? So how is it possible?
You have to depend. See, Nexus is a different server, so you have to depend what you want to build. So configuration will be in your source code, right? Will be in yeah.
And you're breaking, Rajesh, again. I couldn't hear you.
Why we use the nodes? The simple reason you want to distribute the job so you can do the more processing in the less span of time. That's only one job required. Make sense?
Yeah, when I build a job in my Windows, so all the so like in the pipeline, I have another jobs also to build. So how is it going to take the workspace? So is it possible? Like I'm not sure. In the pipeline, different jobs can be configured in a different nodes.
Yes. See,
one pipeline.
A-build is configured in the Windows, UT is happening with the master, APAT is happening master. So this, see, you can do the any job in any things, but the display will be remain same.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Rajesh. So there is something like a Jenkins pipeline as a code. Is there something different?
Jenkins pipeline as a code means?
Sorry?
Oh, I think he was asking like rather than defining the build steps, I mean we can write a DSL script like we have to install a DSL plugin in Jenkins so that we can write all the steps as a code.
Also, so they are in the DSL plugin. So I have written this plugin, which is very important. So you have to try this plugin. The plugin name is DSL, which is here. Okay. You can write the Groovy scripts and all the stuff like that. Any other questions? Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to wrap up this session now. With this, I am going to upload this video by evening. Okay, So you're going to practice it tonight and after this class also, and try it out. Let me tell you, all this sample jobs I have kept it here. Okay, all these jobs. So if you want to get the list of jobs, so here you can get the list of job in the exercise. Okay, so all these jobs I have put it here, assignment 1 to 6. Okay, and it's there in my repository. You can get the URL on the DevOpsSchool.com. You can try it out, build it, see the different options. If you are not able to get something, put it in the forum. If you're getting the error, put it in the forum. If you are not getting some solution, send me an email for that. I'll create a solution and I upload the tutorials in the next 24 hours or something. Okay, and try it out. And tomorrow we're going to meet up for our next session, which is like 1.5 hours we'll spend for the essentials of the Puppet, and 1.5 hours we'll spend on the Nexus fundament. Okay. Okay, guys. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy. Tomorrow we're going to see each other, and then we'll continue our journey. Okay. Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the Jenkins session so far, please enroll for our channel membership. $3.99 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopsschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the $3.99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.